Coming to you live from Studio B at KOPN. It is the Sticky's Cabana podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, do not exit out of this video. You have not clicked on the wrong link. I am Nick Boggs, and I'm your special guest host for today's Sticky's Cabana podcast. My guests today are the owners. We have Sticky.
Yep.
Our furry pal Topher.
Hi, everybody.
You still need to be brushed.
Tim. And Lucas.
First time on real camera visage.
Basically.
Usually you just hear his voice in the background on slight occasions.
Right?
Yeah.
Telling me to not do dumb shit.
So what type of beverage was that soda before it came into your possession? Lucas.
By the way,
The
ladies,
answer you're looking for is water, apparently, but I don't do that. Wrong Jesus.
Oh, dang, I did it again.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, today's podcast is just going to be all about having fun. We're a joke around. It's not serious. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. My first question, Sticky, how did it all start? What events in life led to the opening of the Cabana, the idea for it, and coming to fruition?
All right. So, got to go back to 2017. I owned a lawn and landscape company here in Columbia. I owned one for 16 years here. And got tired of working in the heat. Kind of got lazy in that aspect, I guess. And decided that I had a buddy of mine, anyway, that this kind of falls hand in hand with it. I had a buddy of mine that wanted me to become a manager of his band. And I was like, man, I ain't got no clue what the hell I'm doing with that. Are you kidding me? I said, I do lawn care. And he's like, no, man. He says, you know a lot of people. I bet you could get us into a lot of places. I was like, well, look, I tell you what. Let me do it for 6 months free of charge, no problem. And I said, and then after that, if it's all good to go, we'll go from there. So after 6 months and them had already playing 52 shows in 6 months, they was like, do you have a contract we'd like to sign? You know, and do everything like that. So I took them all the way to number one in a tri-state area in country music. And they got a big head and decided that they could do it themselves. Now they're actually defunct, you know, so if that says anything. But
We got the funk.
we got the funk.
We got the funk.
While they were starting to fall apart, I started a record label. And I had 13 bands and 19 different solo artists of all kinds of genres, all with my label. So what that started was I bought a piece of property out in the country and was like, man, I want to build a stage in my backyard. I like to party, you know. I said, with my label, with my guys, I can let them have stage time to perform, you know, and that hit perfectly right with COVID. And by March of 2020, I had completed the minimalist stage before it was redone.
The springboard.
The springboard, yes. And like I said, it was never meant for what it was used for. You know, we had a few shows. I had a few artists out, and it'd be nothing to have 10, 15 different people sitting in your backyard. You know, it was during COVID. You know, it was for them to have stage presence. Well, then I started getting phone calls and text messages and emails by not just a few, but by the hundreds.
Hey, Sticky, I hear you got a stage. My band wants to play.
Yep, that's exactly what it happened right there. And we didn't even have power ran back here, man. All we had was extension cords. We were running it off of my garage power.
Yeah,
that was it.
I think we got power year 2.
Yeah.
When I started
It
over there.
took the whole first year for us to actually get power out
y'all
there.
got
Yeah,
the
and
box
so
and
I got with, at the time, it was Lucas and Jared. I got with them and said, hey, I'd like to maybe start something in my backyard, you know, have a good time, have some parties, you know, and I've already got a fire pit and, you know, we've got a stage. That's all we had. We didn't have anything else, just the stage. And so Jared decided to build a bar out of scrap wood in my rafters, in my garage, and we made a bar. And so then from there, we started having shows. And, you know, of course, they start out like, oh, what is this? You know, somebody, you know, is having a party, man, and giving 100% of the profits. Everything's going straight to the bands that's playing.
The hype was real.
The hype was real, yeah. And by I don't know, first or second show. I think I had a benefit. I think it was my second show. And I found this gentleman here.
That actually leads to my question.
There you go.
Topher, how did you come to join as head of sound and co-owner?
It was a long roundabout thing. My band, The Bomb, was in its first incarnation. We hadn't even decided on that name yet. We were still just practicing and goofing around in Scott's shop in the bomb, what became the bomb shelter. Scott was over at Liz and I's apartment one night talking about set lists and things like that, and I just, on the off chance, hopped on to my go-to thing, Craigslist, and looking for venues that we might play, and I ran across an ad that Sticky had posted, and on a whim, I just messaged him right then and there that night, and me and Scott continued to hash out the set list for the band, and suddenly my phone goes off. I'm like, the hell, it's 9 o'clock at night, nobody's going to be messaging me, and I look it up, and it's Sticky.
I will. Oh.
So we chat back and forth a little bit, and our first foray into the Cabana was coming out to the benefit for Matt and Doc.
Mm-hmm.
So we go out and visit during that, and it happened to be on a band practice night. Did Scott come out that night?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Because what surprised us was the Cabana was literally, a quarter mile, half mile
If you're lucky.
from
Yeah.
the Cabana.
It is actually very close. Logan and I realized that
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, in talking with Sticky, I'm like, hey, would you let this bunch of goofballs that just make noise on your stage? And he's like, yeah, sure. How's 3 weeks sound? Okay. Can we bring our PA? Because at the time, the Cabana was running out of, one 8-channel mixer?
We had the powered 8-channel mixer, and then I believe it was the 2 old PV, SB1s?
SP2s.
But yeah, I mean, that was it, basically, and it was just me at that point, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it was me and Jared, but I was the one that ran the whole board and everything.
Yeah. So I brought out, for our first gig, let me see, I had my Behringer 12-channel at the time. I had one of my amplifiers. Scott brought out his rack, and what did we have? 2 4x12 cabs?
It sounds about right.
And then we added in the powered mixer and the SP2s, and it was probably your loudest show.
At that point,
So far, yeah.
At that point.
Come a long way since then.
Yes, we have. And I think, was it the first gig you guys talked to me or the second one?
So that was down in Osage Beach where I talked to you. So whatever that was when Jared's band, Need Bail, was performing at Osage City.
Osage City, yeah, just outside of Jefferson City.
I can't remember what the venue was.
They're defunct now, too.
Yeah, they closed down, unfortunately. And Jared had asked me to run sound for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Liz and I went down there and looked, and they had a nice 16-channel digital board and some speakers up in the front. So I told Jared, they're letting me use their equipment. I'll run sound for you guys. And it was a complete disaster.
Their sound stuff wasn't that good.
No,
a lot of it was
wasn't.
the acoustics of the space.
Yeah, but
it was
then when
cut off so strangely that anything that bounced in a weird direction.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was at that show that I proposed to him. I did. The offer, anyway.
And I said,
I'm glad you finished that sentence.
yes.
so yeah, Lucas and Sticky come up and asked if I'd be an owner. And I said, well, let me think about it. I'll discuss it with Liz. And Liz and I went home that night and talked about it. And she's like, well, how much is it going to cost? And I mulled that over, and I'm like, I have no idea. So a short while later, I come up to Sticky and pulled Lucas over, and I said, okay, I like the idea. I can definitely bring things forward to the venue, but what's the buy-in? And basically, it's like, it's not going to cost you any money, just blood, sweat, tears, and time.
It's cost us all a little money. But
I don't think we've really put anything
not in the last
since
couple
year
years.
2.
No, not since year 2. Probably about the year you got in.
I think most of that was just us trying to fix that stage.
The springboard.
Oh, my God.
Did
I
you
think
ever
that's a
perform on
majority
that?
of
No.
where our money went for that second year was the stage.
Yep. And we've got pictures of that.
Yep. And
Or I
not
know.
to mention the gravel and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, first year, the reason I said, you ready in 3 weeks, I didn't have that many people that were wanting to play. I mean, we had a lot of people, but they were spaced out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so 3
It's
weeks.
not the phenomenon it is now that,
Yeah.
that you book a year in advance.
Yeah, it's insane, by the way, just to think about it.
It was that busy when I first came out.
Yeah.
'Cause our first show was the first Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot longer, but
So after our first year, once everybody else started realizing what was going on, that's when it erupted. And it just growing from there.
Yeah, I mean, we're already booked, into December?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got one show left I can book right now.
Considering the last podcast, you said we had 3 in October.
Yeah, those were gone in
And
no
those are
time.
gone.
Those were gone all within one day.
Yeah.
so that leads into
Yeah.
Lucas. How did you become part of the Cabana, head of, I would call, production, all things IT, and co-owner?
Well, Sticky kind of explained a good chunk of it, but the YouTube channel is kind of my monster that I've started. I started out originally as a photographer for the most part. The only audio that I'd really done before was theater in school, and I got plopped into that one by accident. My mom forgot to pick me up from football practice one day, and I wandered into the theater. And kind of just started there.
We
Yeah,
can make a
you
movie
saw
out
the
of that.
mixing board and wow, that looks neat. How does that work?
Yep,
I
pretty
feel
much.
like Sandra Bullock would be like the mother in this movie. We can make a movie out of this.
We can do it.
That's a really good. That's really that's awesome though.
But yeah, and then outside of that, I think it was the early second year of the Cabana, or like our weird off season there.
Yeah.
And I just started playing around with stuff. Everybody was starting a podcast, and I was like, screw it, let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
And here we are 3 seasons later.
Yeah.
Surviving the Fall still holds the record for highest viewed.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
And I
They
just-
must have liked seeing a bunch of us drunk bastards hanging around their she shed.
That's not a joke. When he brought in the jug, I mean, we were already pretty good and liquored up when we got
Pre-game,
there.
yeah.
And then drank through it. And then the second half, so he's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, I didn't forget you guys." Sets a jug out. I'm like, one of us poor bastards got to drive home. By one of us, it's me because it's my car. And I think I told the story last night. I drove like 50 miles an hour on the highway just trying to get it to 70, but I'm like so damn scared because I'm so drunk. And I'm like, I'm just so glad it's not dark yet. It was rough.
Every back road you saw, you took.
No, we
No?
straight on 63.
Yeah.
I was just risk it to get the biscuit.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the fuck home.
I don't blame you.
Keeping the hell away from Boone and Randolph County
Yeah.
sheriff's boys.
Oh, it was. Well, I figured hide in plain sight. I eventually got to 70, but that car didn't have cruise control.
Oh, no.
That was the only thing. It had a backup camera, but didn't have cruise control. So like keeping it at 70 was really hard. There's a lot of times where like, Nick, you're going 50. I'm like, oh, damn. I feel like I'm going really fast.
Hey, as long as you don't dip below 40, you're good to go.
Oh, but that was scary.
Yeah.
Next question goes, Kim, how did it all come to be with you and head of security, or is that
I'm just security.
just security? Well, how did it all come to be? How did you become part of the Sticky's Cabana family?
Well, me and Sticky's mutual little brother, not by blood, but by adoption and spirit, drugged me along and said, here, you need to not be in the house, come do things. I came and did things. I liked the people. They were weird people. I am a weird person. I was thoroughly accepted and unjudged, and there was just so many wonderful treats and shines and things, and just yay.
Sticky's Cabana definitely
And
is
music.
a spot for
And
everyone.
And this is one thing that I really don't give a damn when people know about me. I'm actually on the autism spectrum. Music's one of my things that just I love, and that just chills me out and everything. And yeah, I get really weird when I'm enjoying music at the Cabana, and I don't give a damn what people think.
That's
Good
what
problem.
the Cabana is all about. It is a place for anyone and everyone to come together because
Yeah.
music unites all.
Absolutely.
You gotta see the video I have of Miss Kim over there during a rave.
Oh my God! Was it the one with the
Yep.
little? Oh my God!
Yep.
So that actually is a great
I'm trying
segue.
to forget about that, but
Liz just side noted me on something that Kim said, and it's pretty much been our mantra from the beginning. And what we have always felt, we'll let anybody come and play on our stage, but our main philosophy is you do you with respect.
Exactly.
100%. Going around the table,
I would.
what is your favorite Sticky's Cabana moment so far? Let's start with Sticky.
Man, favorite moment. My God.
Favorite Sticky's Cabana moment so far.
Holy crap. I don't know if I could come back into a favorite one. There's tons.
Oh.
of
Mine
stuff.
is Manny Petty's Ballroom Blitz.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was awesome.
That
was an awesome
that's
moment.
mine.
I would
That
say,
was an awesome moment.
Because that's my beginning moment. That's the shock and awe. And I get out of the car and I'm hearing,
yeah.
and I'm like, no, I'm like, and I get there and it's these kids. And
I remember I was at the door. I believe I just saw you standing there like,
I was not only are they playing Ballroom Blitz, but it's kids. Like
yeah.
the next generation. It's the first senior moment I had as somebody who's been doing this for a long time. Because I used to be the kid,
Oh
and then
my
I walk into
gosh.
this place and I'm like, the next generation, we're gonna be okay. The next generation's good. Like we're
Awesome.
good. The torch is passed. And
Yeah.
Manny
Awesome.
Petty, check them
That's
out.
awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a Facebook. They're on Spotify. I know that they're on Spotify. Check them out.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, when they first showed up for that show, I'm looking,
It's like,
and I'm not being judgmental. I'm just like,
yeah.
these are like high school kids, like sophomore, junior year kids. And then I saw the gear and I'm like, okay, they're just starting out. Not a big deal,
That Boss Katana though, those are nice. I have one. And
yeah.
yeah.
But they started, like you said, that intro on the hi-hat. And I'm just like,
What's your grade?
there is no way in hell that they are playing this song. And they get into that guitar riff. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, let's see if this little girl can pull it off. And I don't know if it was her not being close enough to the mic or me not having the settings right on the board, because I was across the venue at the corner of the bar at the time. But she just, once she got into it, just started ripping. And I'm like, okay.
they play a lot of great covers.
I've got
I
two
can see
kind of. So
that.
I'm a sucker for. I love drum solos and I love guitar solos. And first time Lifeline performed at our venue, Noah, with his drum solo at the time was he takes his shirt, rips it off,
Yeah.
and everything. He hulked out on us. And but.
But he is just,
It's something like that. And then as far as the guitar solo goes, the lead guitarist from Tongue Tied, whenever they did, when he did the 8-minute long eruption solo from Van Halen.
He put mine to shame because I just do the little.
Have you seen the video off of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After I did mine, you're like, hey, you got to watch this guy tongue tied. And I'm like, I watched it. I was like, well, I shouldn't have even fucking done mine. I look like an idiot now. I'm over there. I'm like, I can do it on every string because I'm super cool. And then I can do it in the major, in the minor because I'm super cool. It's like, yeah, Nick, get the fuck off my stage.
But yeah, that's mine for sure.
My absolute favorite time at the Cabana, can't be put on video or audio. I can't even.
oh Lord Jesus.
Basically, let's just say what happens at the Cabana stays at the
We don't even have to
Cabana.
have a conversation anymore. I completely understand. High five.
It sounds kind of
You okay?
kitschy to say, but my favorite moment is the moment I'm in, because we have had so many talented people come across our state and perform on our stage. If I actually had to make a choice, and as hectic of a weekend as it was, would probably have to be Jared's benefit. Because, I mean, we had such a wide variety of artists, genres, and whatever, even though we at the Cabana don't believe in genres. It was just an incredible 2 days.
Jared's benefit, yeah.
Yeah.
17 different performances.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that was over 2 days. I think my worst nightmare at the Cabana was probably the one hip-hop show.
Everybody had the flash drive.
Everybody had the flash drives, but Lucas wasn't there at the beginning because he had to close the store that night. So I've got all of these artists throwing all of this stuff at me. I'm trying to run the computer, run the sound desk, make sure everything's sounding good, and make sure that their file format worked with my system. And some guys didn't even have flash drives. They just said, here's my phone, plug it in. It's like, you guys are lucky I've been a DJ for over 30 years, that I've got the equipment to make this happen.
Right.
Yeah, you hand it
You're
to
never-
anybody else, you might have a problem.
You're making chicken salad out of chicken shit. That's for sure with that.
I mean, it was a fun night, don't get me wrong,
Excuse you.
but by the time Lucas showed up, I'm like, dude, you have to take this over. I have to walk away and pound a couple of shots because my nerves are done.
Right.
Honestly, I think for me, it's kind of a new one. The fact that we've been able to do these karaoke shows and get those things going. It's really surprising how much talent some of these random people have.
Yeah.
It's just not something you expect, and then they come out there and blow you the hell away.
Yep.
Yeah. Some of them have been interesting. We do happen, and that kind of falls back again with, we had a show open up here May 11th. So we just made a karaoke show instead.
They've been doing well, and we've been bringing out some great performers that aren't part of any bands or anything, really.
Yeah,
They're just,
they dropped and the show was booked like
Yeah.
that.
Karaoke brings out the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh, and the drunk.
They're definitely some interesting shows. They're very
incredible.
high
Big
energy
time.
on me and Topher's end, having
You
to
can't forget
run
about-
back and forth and deal with all of that.
Oh, yeah.
You can't
They're
forget about the incredibly
entertaining, for
shy.
sure.
The incredibly shy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, having to get people pushed
No,
up to
I
a
was
microphone.
thinking, who?
Nope.
Yeah, you'd have no association with that at all, would you?
Nope.
And I didn't run away afterwards.
Run away! Run away!
Lucas, what is your worst Sticky's Cabana moment?
Honestly, that one's hard to say. The last 3 years have kind of been a blur with everything that we've done, and it's hard to really have a worst moment. Just personally, I mean, I always try and look at the best side of things. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we try.
We try. We try.
Sticky, do you have one?
A worst Cabana moment? I've got 3. At our old location, we had to deal with a lot of Crystal Methodists that lived down the road, and they've broken windows on vehicles before while we were there.
In some ways, that was kind of embarrassing for us in security because we were here, there, and everywhere, and
Yeah.
we felt like we weren't doing our jobs.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that was out on the road. That wasn't even on us. The fact that they shut us down where we were located, but once again, down the street, right down the street, 2 doors down, Crystal Methodists have a chop shop.
Yep.
And they've got actual hours on their gate. So between that and then we've had a few bands not want to listen to the sound people on to that we have to keep stuff turned down just a hair or something. At the old location, we had one that was so loud that we lost pictures in our house. They broke. That was first year. And then here recently at the newer location, we've had a few instances. And that's kind of the worst that I see.
What about you, Miss Kim?
The worst. Oof. I mean, there have been bad moments, but worst? See, me, I don't ever make it into all these separate moments. For me, the Cabana is this one whole thing. You know, one moment doesn't spoil things for me. You know, as long as we can keep moving forward. I mean, there have been many things that have been hard to deal with, but we all keep moving forward and move past them, you know, fix them. And that's what matters to me. I don't see a worse moment for me. I think kind of heartbreaking when we had to shut down because there was so many memories and everything. And I guess I was making changes in my life. And I, you know, found this other family, you know, and kind of this freedom on the weekends. I dragged my ass in there right after shifts of my main job and still do it because I just enjoy it so damn much, you know? Sitting out there in the hot with the mosquitoes and the fleas. But the thing is that maybe the worst was the last time, you know, or knowing that, you know, when the last time was going to be. I think that might be the worst for me because it was just full of so many poignant moments for me.
Very well said. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Christy Lockwood, a licensed real estate agent with Iron Gate Real Estate. If you are looking to sell or purchase a home in the Mid-Missouri area, I would love to assist you in that process. If you want to give me a call, 573-239-4401. I'd be more than happy to meet with you and see how I can assist you.
And we're back. So, wow, that's been a crazy episode so far.
Yeah.
Yes,
We got a
yes.
new guy in here.
And we have a new guy. Wolfie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Wolf, I'm one of the sponsors for Sticky Cabana, and I also do the lighting and some video work if needed.
One of the examples of that is the compilation of the Battle of the Bands the first year. Am I correct?
Correct.
So, now that we've gone through a little bit of what's going on with the Cabana, how we got to where we are, I want to ask just a couple of fun questions just to pick everybody's brain, have a good time.
Both brain cells?
Oh, yes, both brain cells. If you could have lunch or dinner with any living or dead president, who would it be and why?
Wow, that's a tough call. So I'll tell you what, I've actually had lunch with this president, and I would love to do it again, considering he's ancient now, Jimmy Carter. So that is my great uncle.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, and he almost 100 years old now.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Topher?
I would have to say the father of our country, George Washington.
That would be a good one.
He was a great military mind, obviously, winning the Revolutionary War for us, but also a hemp farmer.
And crazy. 6'2" and just crazy. To cross
The Delaware River,
the Delaware River,
Christmas Eve.
freezing cold, and all you see is this, because 6'2" today is big. 6'2" back then,
Was a
1770, 1776, massive.
Yeah.
And you just see this, everybody's like, oh, they're not going to do nothing. They'd have to cross this, and it's winter. It's, it's Christmas. And you just see the psychopath just ready to come after you.
There you go.
Kim?
And I'm not even sure which one it would be, or if it could even be the same one that has these qualifications. Moderate, successful in their presidency, and the things that they put forward. Someone who also came from a humble background. Because, I have a problem with career politicians and the like, and some of that shit goes way back in our country's history. Give me someone who truly does understand the working American.
Good answer. It's a good answer. Wolfie, what about you?
Either George Washington or Abraham Lincoln.
As long as you're not in the theater with him whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not be in the theater, but yeah, with his mind and the way that he handled America during his time was wonderful compared to some of the stuff that's going on now.
Mine would be John F. Kennedy.
Not in Dallas, right?
No, not in Dallas.
Okay.
No, but I would, over, a couple Cubans, nice glass of red, and, steak and lobster dinner, just ask him so much, because we all know why he was killed.
Yeah.
My ADHD brain wants to be like, what did you find out? What did you know that ruined the next 20 years was supposed to be the legacy of the Kennedys? Anyways, a little bit of a lighter note. If you were stranded on a desert island with only 5 albums you could listen to, which 5 would they be?
So, I'm an 80s kid. So, I'd have to say GNR's Appetite for Destruction. I love Skinner. Everybody, why not? Freebird!
$500.
Their album that had that on there, I can't remember the name of it. And then Nirvana. Nevermind. Love that. That was began more into the 90s, high school years. And that also goes along with Pearl Jam. I liked Pearl Jam back in the 90s. Their new shit? No. And then one more. Man, probably more into the countryside. Lee Greenwood. Very patriotic in a lot of his songs that he did. There you go.
Solid choices, Topher. I know this is hard for you.
No, actually, it's not. I'm going to steal one from Sticky, GNR's Appetite. Pink Floyd, I'd have to take two, The Wall and Dark Side. Rush 2112, and it's going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but if you know my history, Jan and Dean, Take Linda Serpent.
Nice. Solid list.
Jan and Dean is how I taught myself to sing and why I have such a wide range, because I would do all the bass stuff and all the high stuff.
Speaking of that, I heard a rumor that there's a new lineup with The Bomb.
Yes, there is. I would hope you'd hear of it because you're part of it.
Oh, that's how I heard that.
Shabam. Yeah, the Bomb is coming back. Gotti and I sat down and had some discussion, and I'm like, I want to bring it back, but it's got to be based off of you and I. I said, I found somebody to play bass for us. He's got a guy that plays drums, and Logan Lashley from Lifeline wants to sit in with us. So our new lineup is myself, Scott, yourself, Paul Hegg, who is a wonderful drummer, a metronome almost of no equal.
One of my best kept secrets.
Yeah. I do have to give a shout out to my former Goodfellas and Slick Whiskey drummer, Ken Chitwood, who I played with back in St. Louis. He gave me my first break getting into a band as a singer and sound guy. But this new lineup, we've all got the drive, the talent, and just the excitement that was missing in our previous incarnation. And Sticky has been nice enough to let us borrow the Cabana for a night in July, and we're going to be playing our first show then, and then
October as well.
October 19th.
19th. Yeah. I was like, you want a date in October? Blow kisses at him. He'll take the day.
It's probably going to be kind of difficult with several of the band members having other projects going at the time. You've got Soul Daisy, and then Logan obviously has Lifeline and his new band,
The Lakeside Boys.
Yeah.
They play tonight. Yeah. Well, this is timestamped. Damn it. It'll have passed. It was a great show at 4th Street Theater. You check it out if it's online.
Miss Kim.
5 albums.
Well, for one thing, I definitely have to do the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, the original anime one, because I really love the artist Yoko Kanno. She also did all of the Ghost in the Shell soundtrack, the original anime, and some of the movie, I believe. Am I right, Lucas? And they brought in, I think, some of the original music, too. Those are 2 albums I definitely have to have. Erykah Badu's Baduism. I'd have to have Alicia Keys' Songs in A Minor, and probably something by Billie Holiday, honestly.
Good lineup, especially Billie Holiday. That's solid. I don't know a lot of the anime, but the Billie Holiday is solid.
Well, the anime thing was honestly because, yes, I love anime, but...
Oh, I do too. I just never looked into the soundtrack.
And everything, yeah. But I like some of her work outside of that, you know, and I think she's just a phenomenal artist, phenomenal composer, musician. So you should check out some of her work. I believe her group outside of her soundtrack work is the Seatbelts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wolf?
I'm going to steal one of theirs as well. GNR's Appetite and Pink Floyd, The Wall, and Dark Side. Metallica's Black Album.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, that was actually my first secular album that I ever had that one of my classmates snuck to me as a Christmas present. I got to thank Eric Lusher for that.
And then Meatloaf, the Bad Out of Hell albums.
Ooh.
I
see that.
That is solid, because that is
Damn.
that's one of those albums that
Wow.
all the way through is just solid.
I forgot that you liked Meatloaf that much.
Yeah. Meatloaf is
How
amazing.
could I forget that? How in the world could I
But
forget that?
Another is Liliac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The latest album, Madness.
Do they have original? Because I've only seen them as a cover.
No, they've got originals.
Because she did, I seen them for, they did, not rain, yeah, it was Rainbow in the Dark. Just, there's lightning. I was like, oh my God. Coming from, because it's dirty, raspy, but it's so smooth.
They have 3 original albums.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah, though, they're really good. If I had to pick my 5, just because my ADHD, I had to answer all these questions myself, I'd say the first 2 Sabbath albums, Led Zeppelin 4, Jimmy Eats World's Bleed America, And then if I'm gonna go a fifth, I'm gonna go Kill 'Em All, Metallica. Your 5 albums.
My answer is very nondescript because I'm really strange about music. You can ask everybody. I have probably the weirdest playlist out of anybody you know.
Love it.
So yeah, I can't really pick albums. I'm finding new, strange music just about every week.
My next question: hypothetically, you're on death row. What is your final meal? Drinks included. Like I said, they're lighthearted, meant to be just fun and have a good time.
Lighthearted, talking about death row.
Death row.
All right. That tells you about our mentality, doesn't it?
If I ask you your favorite meal, it'd be like grandma's fried chicken. But if you put it like, hey, this is like legitimately my last one, then you kind of get, because you get to go detailed. You can go full spread on this.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, I am going to. So
full spread, not spread eagle.
Yeah. I like bone-in ribeye, cooked medium rare, along with some. I'm not a big lobster fan, so we're gonna go crawfish.
Water bugs.
Yep, mud bug. I need me a big old slice of German chocolate cake.
Okay.
Yes.
I would do mashed potatoes and homemade white gravy. Big fan of the white gravy. Country gravy. I want fresh green beans with a little bit of bacon tossed in. Maybe some fat back instead of bacon.
Well, yeah, at that point it don't matter.
Yeah, at that point it don't
Yes.
matter.
Screw your cholesterol.
Yeah.
Yeah, there ain't no being healthy on this one.
Now, I'm going to do a 3-finger shot of bourbon. Gonna probably finish it off with a little bit of sweet tea.
And just as sweet as you can get it.
Yep.
Because at that point, it's a fuck it.
Yeah.
Topher tea.
Topher tea. There we go.
Okay, yeah.
I bet Topher tea as strong as Topher whiskey. So I
Yeah.
smelt it.
All right, your turn there, Topher.
I would probably go a lot along the lines of what Sticky said, but I'd have to do a tomahawk about 2 inches thick, medium. I'm going to go for the lobster tails.
Yeah.
I like crawdads for sure. Love me a good crawdad boil down in New Orleans. Y'all are making me hungry now.
I'm telling you.
My taters would have to have the sawmill gravy.
Yeah.
Lots of pepper, because that's the way I roll.
Yeah. You go mashed taters, same as me. Yep.
Yep. The hell with 3 fingers. I want me a bottle of Jameson, a 6-pack of Guinness, and my mom's gooey butter cake. Not the stuff you get in the bakeries around St. Louis. It's got to be my mom's. And
Solid.
even I've not been able to duplicate. I've come close, but the pan she used to make it in, after she passed, we had family members literally arguing and almost fighting over who got the pan.
Because the pan was the secret ingredient.
It definitely was, because she tried making it in other vessels, and it just did not turn out the same. Funny thing is my dad made lasagna in that pan too. So I don't know if it was the Garfield effect and the lasagna lent something to the gooey butter cake, but yeah.
It's a gooey butter cake doing my lasagna tray.
What's lasagna doing in my gooey butter cake tray?
All right, yeah.
My grandmother's venison stroganoff.
Venison stroganoff.
And then I know Topher can account for this too. The brownies that my mom used to make.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I don't drink alcohol anymore. If I drank on my last day, it'd probably be Booker's. But wash it down with Sprite.
The ever-present 2-liter.
Yeah.
Is there a local artist or band that you haven't been able to book yet or haven't booked yet, but want to, and who?
Yep, there is. Comancheros. I've been wanting. I've witnessed them in concert several times. I actually booked somebody that opened for them and shows as well. Right now they're playing overseas. They're in Europe right now.
Yeah, I knew
Second
about that a
time
while
around.
back.
This is their second
Yeah.
European tour.
They're doing big things. They've got stuff on CMT.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
check that out on YouTube. Just Comancheros, CMT, I'm sure. Or go to CMT.com. Probably easier. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just a guest host. Don't judge me. Don't look at me. Don't look me in the eyes.
I'm looking right at you.
But most of them follow us. I know Tanner.
Well, Tanner's
fairly
been out
used-
to a couple
yeah.
shows, especially when it was here in Boone County.
Yeah, he went to a couple of
'Cause he
shows.
was a guitar teacher of mine for a while, and good friend Topher.
That was more a sticky question than for me, because,
The new lineup of the bomb.
well, we're already going to be. We're booked. We're playing.
Do we need to plug that again? Are we? Oh, just fun.
July 5th and October 19th. Yeah.
I have a local one.
Yeah.
James LeGrand.
Yeah. But
Well, see, there's some St. Louis bands that I'd love to get out here, but they're a little bit too big time for what we can afford to offer them.
Yeah.
Same way with Comancheros.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I wish we could, but,
Building up to it.
building up to it. We are. The first big show that we end up being able to do, it'll be somebody fairly local that went big.
Most underrated musician, band, or artist, local and national. And it can just be, it can be a member of a band, it can be a band, it can be an artist.
National wise, most underrated. Keep wanting to go to Jamie Johnson. Yeah. A lot of people don't know who he is.
Look him up on. If you're into music at all, look up Jamie Johnson on YouTube.
Is that
Country.
Living in Color?
Yeah.
And then there's another one. He had 2 big hits on one album.
He's had a couple. Yeah, he's had some real nice ones out. But yeah, he's very underrated. A lot of people don't
High Cost
know
of
who
Living.
he is. Yeah, and his voice is unmistakable. Kind of like Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton, honestly, had made a name for himself already with Tennessee Whiskey, but then when he plays the Super Bowl, they had forgot that he could actually sing that way.
Well, he's a writer too. He's
Yeah.
wrote songs for other people. He's
Yeah.
all over talented.
Local? Who do we have local that's under?
I think John.
Yeah, could be a good call there, John.
Pikey's mine. I think everybody should have to watch one song with Pikey going to have a drink and realizing how talented all over that band is, but how much he adds to that because he's just a monster of a bass player.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And you think about it, that's an overall just talented band. Hunter, multifaceted. Logan Lashley's a prodigy. Noah is, I'll say it, he's close to a prodigy. He's an amazing drummer. Mm-hmm. You have, I'm blanking out on Davis.
Dean.
Yeah. Sorry, Dean. Love you, buddy. Dean's amazing too. Dean just scary good. And he's quiet. That's why nobody really
Stands
there. But he's so good, so amazingly talented, so smart. But you don't really, Pikey kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Well, until he headbangs, because that's right. He's going to go crazy and kick around, and he's got a lot of energy in life. But I think he's underrated. I agree with you for sure.
Let him loose on some Rage Against the Machine, and you'll find a whole other person in there.
Sorry again, Dean. It is a joking around episode. Don't look at me. Don't judge me. I love you.
Jamie would probably be my national. Local, even though he's a transplant, I have to go with Sage Redgrave.
Yeah.
That guy, you stick a 6-string or 7-string guitar into his hands, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
The first time I saw him play out at the old Cabana, he walks up with these 2 Ibanez and this little bitty Boss Katana, plugs it into his phone, and he starts, and I'm like, oh, God, here we go with karaoke hour. But no, he just ripped.
Jeff?
Like you're saying about Lifeline and John. National, I'm going to have to say Liliac because some people, they're starting to become big now, but a lot of people underrated it.
Highly underrated. I think they're amazing.
Yeah. They're all family. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen the sister that's a drummer. They got a fill-in right now, but I don't know what.
She
was pregnant.
She was pregnant and just got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all family, and the parents just pumped money into them. Had background experience, and people get hate for that. But if you got kids, you're gonna put your money and time and efforts into them. Sorry, it works for some, and
I just figured as long as it's not forced labor on the kids.
Right.
Hey, go for it. They want to take advantage of the resources the parents are giving them. Why not?
Very true.
Yeah. Everyone wants better for their kids.
On my end, nationally, I don't really have anything. Locally, there was one we've had before, and I just didn't really recognize the talent before. But Brandon Stewart.
Yes.
Just real, Jack Black energy.
Nice.
Real Tenacious D shit.
Yeah.
True.
It's great.
And a burrito supreme.
And he just nails it.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to not pay attention to that when he's up on stage.
Supreme. Go on, count 1, 2, 3. I love Jack Black. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Don't eat yellow snow. No. So many things come to mind, and they're all crazy.
Walk softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah, Truman said that.
Yes.
Yeah. Truman said that. I don't have one single piece. I honestly don't.
Yeah.
Don't pee into the wind.
I mean,
Don't
it
tug
can even
on
be a funny one.
Superman's cape.
Yeah.
I like
would
the
say.
original answer. Don't eat yellow
Don't
snow.
eat yellow snow. Yeah.
It can be a silly one.
Yeah.
Topher.
Marry that redhead.
I am also married to a redhead, so
Same.
very good advice. Kim.
Best advice I ever got was from my Uncle Brian. May he rest in peace. He always said, Shorty, you're just reading from the book I wrote. And he knew about my wild tendencies, my sexuality, all that before anybody else in the family. And he always told me, don't do anything because I'm pressured to, do whatever it is. And he meant whatever it is because I want to and I enjoy it.
Solid advice.
And I mean, it wasn't just your basic, no peer pressure thing, but the way he meant it was, he already knows I have had wild ass tendencies. Just be smart about it. That's all
Good
we want.
advice. Jeff?
Leave my ex-business partner.
Oh dear.
No need for an explanation there.
They're next for a reason.
Sometimes a why is in, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah.
Well, these two know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Lucas?
For me, I guess it was being told to get into graphic design and all of that, because here we are.
Right? This is
It
because
was kind of my springboard, yeah. Not like the old stage.
Mine would be from a book. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. Because of how my brain works with ADHD, that so much. Because I'll stress over the dumbest, littlest stuff that doesn't mean anything, but lives rent free in my head for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Don't sweat the petty stuff.
Pet the sweaty stuff.
Yep. Yep. You already knew where that was going.
Oh,
It's kind of like the hat I used to
Yep.
have whenever I was in 7th grade. I wore it, maybe 6th grade. I was young, but I had a hat, and I wore it to the fair down kind of little country town that I was living in. It said, I like big old titties and tig old bitties. 6th grade, walking around with a hat with a set of jugs on them. It was great. Rednecks are us.
I got one for you. So I went to Higbee, which is a small town. We don't have football. So our homecoming is our prom, and our prom is our homecoming. So we're at homecoming. Me and my brother are in matching suits because we're walking in the Grand March because he's in high school. And we either just got done taking pictures or just getting ready to take pictures. And my grandparents are there. We're all having a good time. And I go up to my grandma and grandpa and I go, hey, do you know what my favorite pie is? And my grandma and grandpa go, apple, pecan. I go, poontang, because I had been watching wrestling, because it's the 90s.
Uh-huh.
And The Rock had been talking about poontang pie on TV. And, me being, I couldn't have been more than 7, between the age of 5 and 7. Just wanted to, my favorite pie is poontang, in front of God and everybody. You talk about what the hell.
The mic could have dropped and it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
How used to have an ass to sit on?
Yeah.
Well, it's big.
They must have been a whole lot of weight in it.
Well, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good piece of advice right there.
Yeah.
You're right about that. I'm from Southern Virginia, so no, I understand.
Why does everybody have a nickname?
So I've had the nickname for quite some time. It's a lot better than what I had when I was in high school. We're not going to go there. But
That's in a previous episode.
But I already had it. My name's Chris.
My name's Chris.
Yeah.
His son-in-law's name is Chris. One of our former security people's name was Chris.
Kermit.
Right. So you've got Sticky, Topher, Kermit, Sap.
Didn't we have another one or two?
There was somebody that used to come out there whose son was named Chris. He was like Frog.
Oh.
Which was funny because
With
when
Kermit.
Emmert came around, you had Frog and you had Kermit, and it's like, that's almost as bad. But yeah, at one time there were 5 different Chris's in and around the Cabana.
It was necessity.
That's good to know.
I've had the Sticky name, though, for, this is 24. So I've had the Sticky nickname now for 26 years. Maybe even.
And the story of
longer
that's
than that.
been on a podcast.
It has.
Yep.
It has.
Check that out in the link.
No, up there.
No, up
No,
there is
up there.
No, up here are the 2 shameless plugs. Up here you can check out the most viewed podcast of a band, Surviving the Fall. Rest in peace. And over here, shameless plug, you can check out me on the podcast a couple months ago. Shameless plug. Now starts the lightning round. This is just a little fun, and it doesn't have to be super quick. I'm going to ask them quick. You take your time. Don't feel pressured.
Okay.
And it's kind of this or that. Might be one or two your favorites, but it's just lighthearted fun. I probably have more anxiety about it than you do.
Well, you never know what's going to come.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Coke.
Pepsi.
Coke.
Either way, take it or leave it.
He said two-fisting.
Two-fisted.
McDonald's or Burger King?
Burger King.
McDonald's.
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 Fender or Gibson?
Fender.
Gibson.
I was a clarinetist. What?
We're going to just say she voted PRS.
Which one is it?
Fender or Gibson?
Probably both. They're both.
They're both solid.
Not a
I used to own
guitarist.
an Ivan
Either
house.
works for me.
That doesn't
I'm
matter.
a Gibson
Your
guy.
bass is a P bass, and that's a Fender, so.
So, yeah, I guess Fender then.
I'm a Gibson guy, but right now my number one is a Fender. I bought a Player Plus. It's the three-tone, the
Mhm.
Tequila Sunrise. It's red and yellow and orange.
Yeah.
It's noiseless
Alien
pickups, rolled
languages
fretboard
are
locking
being
tuners.
spoken.
You can't beat it. Can't beat it. It's amazing. Booth or table?
Table.
Normally booth.
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 I'm the
Depends
odd
how many people's there. I'm normally a booth guy, but if we've got more than 4, give me a table.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping it's gonna be cushion seats.
man. I can't get out of the booth.
If I get any fatter, I'm gonna have that problem.
I can't get out of there, so I don't want to go there.
See, I'm losing weight and hopefully building an ass in the gym, so I'm worried about that. That's good.
Don't skip glutes day.
It's not your beauty, it's your booty.
Thank you, baby.
Paper or plastic?
Paper.
Are we talking for grocery bags or?
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, a lot of these are just lighthearted. You could take it that way. Double bag it if you're going to go that route.
At 2, I went to bed with a 10. At 10, I woke up with a 2. For ease and convenience, plastic, but for the environment and packaging stability, I say paper.
Neither. I like the reusable bags that you can use for your own personal stuff or grocery shopping.
Like what Topher was saying.
Yeah, that's kind of how my mind read.
I prefer to smoke out of glass.
No longer will we use aluminum cans. Pipes are now affordable. Make
Oh my
America great.
God. Help me.
That is not a political thing. That is neither red nor
I'm not
blue.
even a Christian. I'm calling out to Jesus because of y'all. Okay, my goodness.
Chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Beef. It's what's for dinner.
Chicken.
Beef.
Beef.
Beef, beef, beef.
Probably is why I won't live long.
I love meat in my mouth.
Perfect. White meat or dark meat? That is actually the next question. That does not have to be segued. Kobe.
Dark meat.
Mine's dark meat, extra spicy,
Yeah.
and I am talking.
I'm still
about,
dying off of Kim's comment, but I gotta say white meat because I love me some titty.
Oh, I love white meat.
I like the breasts.
White or dark meat.
Oh, I love white meat.
Just ask Jeff.
Jeff, white or dark meat?
Both.
He's a man of many options.
Yeah. Yes.
Lucas,
I'm going to have to say white meat.
this one has 3. Michael Jordan, LeBron, or Kobe?
Jordan.
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 I don't do sports. I still have no answer.
He's gonna say LeBron because I know somebody will get pissed off about it. Michael Jordan is the king, and any other answer is wrong. Don't look at me. Don't judge me. Shut your fucking mouth. I don't care about your opinion. Comment down
But
below.
also, you see who you surround.
Comment down below.
You see who you surround.
Goat. After that, this is another controversial one. That's easy for me to say. Tom Brady or Peyton Manning?
Peyton.
Joe Montana.
There we go. His vote was Joe Montana. Joe Montana.
Manning.
I'm not gonna say I'm biased, but sometimes if I'm bored and crossfaded at night, I'll watch his highlights over and over again and realize that the greatest football player of all time is retired.
Yeah.
The Colts are fucking idiots for letting him go because he had spinal surgery.
Yeah.
Ford or Chevy?
Ford.
Dodge.
Ford or Chevy? You can do Dodge, GMC,
Mopar.
BMW.
Dodge.
Yeah, I'm with Topher. I've had shit luck with Fords and Chevys.
I like Chevy. I can't afford them. I drive Fords. Alyssa has a Chevy.
That's why I like the Ford.
See, now if you're talking about what I can afford, yeah, afford. What I want. What
I
choose.
was just saying my answers. I'd love to have a Chevy truck, but
I was gonna actually change it to Chrysler.
nice. Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm there with you. Yes.
Savory.
Both. Yes.
You just mix them together. They're supposed to go together.
Umami.
Said it's not one spice.
Yes.
Favorite TV show of all time?
Cheers.
Batman, the Adam West. My parents, because of where we were in St. Louis, it was a local channel that did the repeats. And the big console TV we had didn't pick it up. So they had to actually buy me a little 13-inch TV to pick up the local TV station for me to watch Batman.
That's awesome.
Batman.
Yeah.
I actually have a couple. NCIS, CSI, and back in the 80s, the original V.
Yes.
If I ever need to bury a body and
That's
get
what I
away
was
with
getting
it,
ready to say. If we ever
I'm
need to
hollering at
contact
you.
if we ever need to bury a body, contact Jeff.
Lucas.
Honestly, I don't really have one. I'm more of a movie person, but I just like the production of it.
Mine would be Scrubs. It's just
Scrubs.
one I fell in love with. I love it. I just love that, or How I Met Your Mother. Those two were just, for different reasons, love them. Love them. Favorite movie?
Stand by Me.
Full Metal Jacket.
I'd have to say Vampire Hunter D.
Okay.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Empire Strikes Back.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
I mean,
With an X.
I guess we can lean the whole like Star Wars area there for me.
What is the superior Star Wars? How would you watch them in order? This little sidebar.
Well, I mean, obviously you start from the ones they made first.
So you start 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3, and then 7, 8, 9.
No, 7, 8, 9 don't.
Actually, no, I would go Rogue One first, and then The New Hope, because Rogue One was really, really, really good, and because Rogue One led into Episode 5.
And here's where it gets real freaky. I have no clue what you
Yeah,
guys
I
are
shouldn't have
talking
started
about.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah. I watched them in the 70s, in the early 80s, and that was it. They extended
I watched a
Star
little
Wars.
bit of it. I haven't watched a lot, but enough to keep up a conversation.
My dad
of it.
took me to the theater.
And
It was
t-
the new thing.
You're like a Beverly
It was the new
Hillbillies?
thing around Episode 1.
Did you point at
Yeah.
the screen and
I was
say,
a kid
Daddy,
then.
did
I
they
love
steal
Episode
those
1.
people's
Darth Maul with the
Yeah.
2 lightsaber, the dual
Yeah.
lightsaber. That was the coolest shit there was, man.
But just the production of 4, 5, and 6, knowing that you can make a movie with almost fucking nothing and
Yeah.
still
Right.
end up
And
there.
basically, spaghetti, Western, in
With
space.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Favorite song? Just wake up in the morning. Hey, I want to play my favorite song. I'm getting ready for work. Put me in a good mood.
Dear penis.
And this always this always rotates for me. These next two questions I always have a different answer. If you ask me different time of the day, different month of the year, and where everything's at in life sometimes.
For those about to rock, we salute you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cats in the Cradle, Harry Chapin.
Defying Gravity from the musical Wicked.
Either Wolf and Band from Metallica or any of the Valhalla Calling, whatever person is singing at that point in time that I pick on my list.
Hell yeah. Lucas?
I once again don't really have a favorite. I like everything.
Is there just a certain song like getting in the mood to smoke, or you wake up getting ready for work, you just need a little pick me up? Is there any kind of song?
I'll refer back to the way it was with me at first. There, you open your eyes up and you always hear, "Dear penis." I don't think I like you anymore. You used to watch me shave. Now all you do is stare down at the floor.
Rodney Carrington, please don't hit us with a copyright strike.
No.
Oh God, yeah, please don't. Right now mine is Absinthe Party at the Fly Honey Warehouse by Minus the Bear.
Mm.
It's a really good upbeat song by a math rock band from the 2000s.
Alrighty then.
Favorite band of all time? Or artist
Of all time?
of all time? Or we can be, it can be right now. Because like I said, mine rotates all the time. You ask me, you know, depend on like the day, the mood. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Biggie is the greatest. Some days I'm like, well, I'm really into Minus the Bear. They're my favorite. Some days I'm like Black Sabbath. Some
Yeah.
days I'm Led Zeppelin. You know, it changes.
You know, on the rock side, Ozzy, for dang sure, Ozzy has got to be
The man.
the man. I mean, I don't know. He's been through a lot.
I've got his
A
autograph.
lot of self-induced. But on the hip-hop side, Snoop, 100%.
Snoop a loop.
Yeah.
We're going streaking through the quad into gymnasium.
Yeah.
Bring your pink hat.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have. It's hard to pick just one, honestly.
Favorite band can be right now, can be of all time.
Yeah, I can't give you an of all time just because, like Lucas, my musical background is so vast and varied. Right now, I would be leaning towards Sammy Hagar and the Reverend Billy F. Gibbons. How. Just because what he's done inside of, speaking of Sammy, solo, Montrose, Van Hagar, solo again, The Circle, Chickenfoot. You know, he's 75, 76 years old and still out there kicking it hard.
And his tequila ain't too bad either.
No, or his beach rum.
Haven't had the rum yet.
And Billy, you know, ZZ's always been, they've been around as long as I've been alive.
That 10 will get you in. Or so I heard.
Amen.
Miss Kim?
Gonna have to go back to Yoko Kano, but also Gact, Miyavi. I would definitely say Aretha Franklin. I have very, I guess for some Americans, obscure music tastes, but then you go and realize they're all Japanese and I like anime, so there you have that.
Hell yeah. Jeff?
I got a couple though, but Metallica, Floyd, but my all-time favorite is Meatloaf.
That
Doesn't-
first album, so great.
Well, the second album, The Bat Out of Hell 2, was just as good as the first.
Lucas?
I don't really have an all-time, but out of the last few years, it'd be Sean James.
Very
I
nice.
don't know how many people are familiar with him, but
Check him out on Spotify. Right now, mine's Minus the Bear. I've been, for about the last year, I've just been really big into them. Mostly probably because they're not around anymore. I'm just praying they'll do a show sometime. Anyways, that is our show today. I've been Nick Boggs. You've been awesome. Spelled Andy Boggs, Randolph County Sheriff. I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Take it away, guys.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell notification if you're so enticed. And Sticky likes to comment.
I do. I love comments. They're fun to answer sometimes.
Yeah, so let's keep that algorithm happy with us and keep us popping up in people's search windows.
Nick, thank you.
Thank you guys. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll get to do it again sometime.
We will look forward to that. Till next time.
You know,
Good
sperm shoots
God.
at 23 miles an hour, right?
I do now.
Hey, you put the autism.